What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Shuggy from Sugar Earth Media, and today we're here with a brief review of a new show called Lucky Hank, starring Bob Odenkirk, of course, the amazing actor who played Saul Goodman. He's also a comedian and a writer in his own right, and he's a very great talent. I'm a big fan of his. I know a lot of you guys are as well, because a lot of you subscribe to my channel for my Better Call Saul breakdown, so we're not going to do a full breakdown for this episode. We're just going to kind of briefly talk about my feelings about it. Basically, the story is a professor gets canceled, okay? He's a cantankerous, middle-aged old professor. He's a little bit disappointed with his life so far, and he kind of lashes out at a student in class. So that's the basic premise of the show, and I love the idea of the show, especially of the actor Bob Odenkirk playing this character. Now, I would say overall, it's just okay. It's something that might get better down the line, but there's a lot of things that might not really work for me. So I'm going to break all that down with you guys. And if you're interested in these reviews, if you want to see me review future episodes, let me know in the comment section down below. But we're just going to break right into my review. So basically, I think that the show kind of gets to the point a little bit too quickly, honestly. We're kind of setting up an ensemble cast here. And I think this first episode would have been a lot better if this situation here where he lashes out at this student happens later on in the episode. It's kind of the first scene. We haven't really had a chance to get to know Hank, the character, yet. And I think it would have been a lot stronger as a character piece if we got to see a bit of the disappointment in him. Maybe we get to see how he used to have potential in the past and how he feels like he's wasted his life and he feels like he's in this mediocre college. I think there's a lot of great story potential there, but we're jumping straight to the point where he supposedly almost loses his job. Now, I think we've seen the cancel culture of modern society go way too far, in my opinion. I'm not in favor of cancel culture. I think there's a lot of room for some great comedy in making fun of cancel culture and all of that. And I gotta say, it almost feels like an afterthought. It doesn't really delve that deep into that. And the speech that he gets canceled for, to me, is pretty tame. He says he's basically calling the student mediocre, and he knows he's mediocre because he's here at this college. Now, we don't do a lot of setting the scene, so we don't even really know why the school is so mediocre. I'm constantly comparing this show in my head to Community, which is a show with a similar concept. A mediocre school, a community college, where a lot of people who used to have potential maybe end up and kind of waste their potential. That's a much funnier show. And maybe that's the biggest problem with this show is there's a couple jokes here or there, some things that Hank says that are funny when he has some truths that aren't supposed to be spoken that he says. But yeah, we don't do enough setting the scene. We don't get to know the character enough for this moment to feel significant. Yeah, this character here is annoying, and I kind of like how Hank's criticizing his writing. There's a lot of little things that I like, but in general, I would say that none of the characters really sound all that realistic. You know, it sounds like canned fake dialogue to me. And I don't know, that could be fine in a show more like Community that's a bit more over the top and a bit more clever. However, I would just say that it's not clever enough, it's not funny enough, it's not dramatic enough to really grab my attention at this moment. So, and there's a lot of other small things, like, you know, there's the relationship with his wife, who is a vice principal at a school. Honestly, like, if we wanted to set up that he's disappointed with his life, it would have been better to have him be meaner and to not be as nice to his wife, to have his wife is like way too bubbly, in my opinion. Maybe that's just how her character is supposed to be, but it just feels at odds with who Hank is supposed to be, that he would attract somebody who's kind of like upbeat all the time and not really like how he is. He's too nice to everybody also. I mean, he does a lot of nice things. If we want to have this character arc where he's an asshole and then he becomes less of an asshole later, I think he's too nice in this first episode. And I get we want him to be likable, but I kind of like characters that I love to hate, you know, and Saul Goodman was this character that you love to hate. You know, he's an asshole, but he's also likable. And that formula just doesn't really work as well here. This is probably one of my favorite scenes in the episode. This kid here is really offended by what the guy said, and like I said, it wasn't over the top enough to be canceled over. Even in today's oversensitive culture, I feel like nobody would really care. Okay, he called a mediocre college mediocre. So what? Most people online would probably agree. But I mean, we're setting up all these other professors, and I don't know. I'm just not that interested in them. They're not that funny. This is probably the funniest character. She's kind of a drunk. So most of the characters are kind of over the top, but like I said, they're not funny enough and they're not authentic enough. It just doesn't feel right. So I don't know. There's something off about this scene. Here's a scene with the vice principal supposedly dealing with a student that was a bit troublesome in class, and she doesn't want to expel him, and she gives them chocolate to kind of be the intermediary. And this is perhaps the scene that feels the least realistic. And like I said, it's just not funny enough to really justify it. So as of right now, it's not a show I'd really go out of my way to recommend as much as I like Bob Odenkirk. It's just there's something here not working for me. Spending too much time setting up the other characters before we even really get to know Bob Odenkirk's character, and the arc just doesn't feel right. Now I saw in the opening credits, it's called it's based on a novel called The Straight Man, and that's who he is. He's the least eccentric in the cast, and it honestly feels a little out of place. Like he should be the center of everything, and he's really not. There's this whole plot to kick him out as the board, and then they do it, and then at the end of the episode it ends up that like they vote him back in again. So I don't know, it's not really all that intriguing. You know, the wife gets a job offer, she wants to move to New York, and for whatever reason Hank is just stuck here for whatever reason. He has a father that was a key figure in the literary community, and he never reached up to those standards. So again, I'm just not really feeling it. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. But as of right now, maybe this is a type of show, might get better as it goes. It might be funnier once the cast gets to know the characters a bit more, once we get out of setting up the situation and we're into the comedy. But as of right now, it's just not funny enough to justify a recommendation. So that's my opinion on the show. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you want me to cover more episodes, maybe I'll do a season wrap-up when it's all over. But honestly, I'm not all that moved to continue watching at this point. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out.